Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. This is a special breaking news report. It was announced this morning that Julius Randle is out for tomorrow's game of OKC because he has entered health and safety protocols. First thing I want to say is I hope it's a speedy recovery and I hope it's mild and I hope, I really hope it's a quick one. Because, obviously it's New Year's, your family, don't want anyone else to get sick. This is, it's still serious. It's still serious, no matter, how mild in general the Omicron strain is. Still, you never know what can happen. I hope he really takes this time and he actually gets rest as well. This is one of the positives, though. Getting sick sucks, so no matter what. Definitely wishing Julius Randle a speedy recovery. He was averaging 19.3 points per game for the Knicks, 10 rebounds and 5 assists. Unfortunately, he wasn't his former self from last season where he averaged 24 points per game, and he had an outstanding All-NBA season for the Knicks, so he was having a down season. And even last night, Thibodeau, in his post-game conference, he said that Julius had been nicked up a little bit. Well, who knows? Maybe, maybe the early onset of the symptoms just weren't quite there, and his body wasn't quite functioning quite right in general, and that could be an explanation for last night's performance, where he only shot 2 of 11, 5 points, 0 for 3 from the three-point line. But, the night before that, at Minnesota, he only shot 5 of 20, 13 points, 1 of 3 from the three-point line. But he was a monster on the boards, 15 rebounds in Minnesota, 10 rebounds last night. But his game performance has been on the slide in general, overall, the whole season. So it can't quite attribute that to this, but that's a whole other situation to discuss. Now, what could happen is he could be out until January 10th, which is the San Antonio game, which is at home. Well, he'll definitely miss OKC, as you can see right there. He'll definitely miss the Raptors game in the beginning of the new year. And he'll miss the Pacers game, and most likely he will miss both of the home battles with the Boston Celtics. And that's probably the wisest thing. So, and then also he's going to need some time to ramp up once he's out of the health and safety protocols. So the question is, what will Thibs do? What will this team do? Well, it seems like the obvious thing would be, Obi Toppin is now going to get the start. And that's, this is what happens in life. Randle has only missed 1 game in 2 seasons. Just once. The guy that's one thing that's amazing about him is that he just doesn't miss games, and that is just a wonderful attribute, especially for a leader. The problem has been the negative aspect that has been is that Obi Toppin, who is actually having a really strong sophomore season, just isn't able to get the playing time because they play the same exact position. Well, as fate would have it, now Obi's going to get that chance. Yes, Obi, he's been averaging about 15 minutes per game this season, 54% from the field goal, 54% field goal percentage, 4 rebounds, and he's averaging almost 9 minutes per game, 9 points per game. 9 points per game on 15 minutes. But in the last 5 games, he's been averaging a little more, 10 points per game, and that includes that Toronto game on December 10th where he had his career high of 19 points and 10 rebounds. So he appears to be ready. He appears to be ready for this moment. However, we can't treat Obi the way we treat Julius in the offensive scheme. It's going to have to be a different offense. It's going to have to be more like the second unit type offense is what the first unit is going to have to play. Now, but who is really going to be the player that will need to step into the spotlight, into that leadership role? I think it's going to have to be RJ Barrett. This is his time. Even though Obi will be getting the start and be getting starters minutes, now this is the moment that RJ, his whole career has been basically aiming towards this moment where he will have to be. Thibs may choose something differently. I'm just putting putting out my feelings about what should happen and what will probably most likely happen. However, you can never tell with Thibs. You know, he could choose to start Burks and run the whole offense through Burks, and he had a sensational game last night, saved our asses, you know, to be perfectly honest. So who knows what he'll do. However, what he should do is use this opportunity to find out what his other players really have. What can they actually really deliver? Now, RJ has not been having a good season this year. He has not. So it's not like he's been lighting it up and just having to play second or third fiddle to two other guys who've been cleaning up. No, that hasn't been the case. So it's going to be interesting what the actual result is going to be. But let me pull up something here. I just want to pull up, make sure I have this ready here. Yeah, RJ's been averaging 14.6 points per game this season, about 2 assists, but he's only shooting 33.6% from the three-point line and only about 40% overall. So that's, you know, that's not stats that are going to, like, open your eyes at all. And in the last 10 games, he's averaging even less, 12.8 points per game. Yeah, and the last 10 games, he's only hitting 21.7% from the three-point line. So you probably are wondering, hey, why do you think it should be RJ who takes the lead? Well, we need to find out if an offense that's run through RJ can become a more efficient offense than the offense that we've had. So when Randle, and if it does work, then when Randle returns, we can now incorporate him back into this new form of offense where it's not just primarily funneled through Randle anymore. Of course, he's going to get a big portion of the usage percentage when Randle returns. However, maybe it'll be less so if we can prove. This is like proof of concept time. That's what this is. This is what I'm trying to get to. It's proof of concept time. And I'm going to show you some stats here. Show you some stuff that's going to help understand what I'm talking about. So this is from cleaning the glass. I keep wanting to say cleaning the grass. Cleaning the glass. This is when RJ's on the court and Randle is off the court. This is all the possessions that he's played. Crazy to think it's only been 66 possessions that also that Derrick Rose is off the court because Rose is not here. Because when Rose is on the court with RJ or with anybody, it's just the numbers go completely crazy. So, and we're not going to have Rose. You know, he's rehabbing his ankle surgery. So this is for 66 possessions that he's played with all the other teammates. The point differential has been a plus 20 when RJ's on the court and Randle and Derrick Rose are off the court. A plus 20 at points. The 100 possessions, points per possession, the Knicks are at 125.8, which is in the 100th percentile. The differential is in the 99th percentile. As you know, repeat it, the orange is the best. The higher the number is better, 100 being the best. Field goal percentage, look at that, 62.7%. But look at the defense, 105.7 for an 83 percentile. Excellent. Look at the field goal percentage for the defense, the opponents. 45.6%. Now, it's only 66 possessions, and primarily most of those you can see were with IQ was the point guard, and either Grimes or Burks was the shooting guard, but the power forward was Obi Toppin. And the center, it's been 3 different centers in this scenario, Sims, Noel, and Robinson. Now, Mitch is going to be available, of course, and hopefully Sims will return soon. And who knows, for all we know, Nerlens will be back at some point during this 10-game stretch. But either way, this is what we're looking at here. Now, did the offense run through RJ in this scenario? No, it didn't necessarily. But definitely there were times where it did. And he took over, especially in fourth quarter situations. But let's look at what it looks like when RJ and Obi share the court without Randle and Derrick Rose. Look at that. The differential goes from a plus 20 to almost a plus 30. Now, it's only 57 possessions, but look at the defense. The defense improved. The points per possession allowed, 98.3 for a 99 percentile. Look at the field goal percentage, 44.8%, 99 percentile for the defensively. But look at the offense field goal percentage, 65.3%. This duo of RJ with Obi is very dynamic. I mean, we saw that wonderful play the other night out on the fast break where RJ got Obi the ball and he went between the legs for that spectacular dunk. This is going to be interesting times, guys. Very interesting time, guys. I hope that this might actually be a good thing. I've been thinking Julius needed a break anyway. He needed a moment of reflection. This could be that time. Again, nothing major can happen to him health-wise. I hope the best for him and his family. Absolutely. Of course, we all want that. But I'm talking about having a mental break. This thing might have been getting to him a little bit, and maybe he was nicked up. Maybe he has been nicked up. This will help his body heal some. Unfortunately, we're already kind of depleted, but we've been getting a lot of our players back. I mean, if this had happened at the same time when Obi was out and RJ was out, it could have been totally traumatizing for this team. Depth has been our strength. It's definitely been our depth has been challenged recently by losing guys like Derrick Rose, which is just brutal. But let's hope that while this is happening, it creates new opportunities for something else to blossom, and Thibs is able to be the gardener to help this blossoming happen. All right, well, thanks so much for watching this. Really appreciate the support, and thumbs ups, subscribe, please subscribe, and drop your comments. I want to hear your feelings about what I presented here statistically, and what might happen with these Knicks. All right, thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you around very soon. OKC tomorrow, New Year's Eve, the Knicks-Verse.